Hey, what's going on everybody? Jay from Jay's Trains here, and welcome to today's episode. So, as to let you guys know, the new Lionel catalog came out yesterday at the time that I'm making this video, and so I figured I'd go ahead and do a video going through some of the highlights pretty much from the catalog. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm pretty much just going to focus on flipping through the pages of the legacy locomotives and the scale freight cars and such. And even a couple of the accessories that are a little bit toward the back of the catalog. But I'm sure people will be making, full-length videos of everything in there. But just the stuff that, I thought was interesting is pretty much what I'll be going through, and the stuff that I collect. So, overall, it's a very nice catalog. There's a lot of nice stuff in there. If I won the lottery, I would get pretty much one or two of everything. Some very interesting things in here. Some things are making a comeback that hasn't been in the Lionel catalog for a while. Some brand new things, some former MTH Premier tooling as well. So, I guess with that being said, let's go ahead and start flipping through. So right away, as soon as we start flipping through, we have the table of contents, of course, and then we have some information about the Lionel Base 3 and Cab 3 app system. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because, especially since it was announced in the last catalog, there have been plenty of videos made about this, but there's definitely still some interesting information here for people who are interested in that. Alrighty, so flipping the page, we have a glimpse at the first steam locomotive that is going to be featured in this catalog that we will be getting to in a moment, and that is a early Uni Pacific Challenger, otherwise known as a Feather Challenger if I'm not mistaken. Flipping the page, then we have some basic legacy features that are on all legacy steam locomotives. So each page has a caption that says, "See, these pages for basic legacy features and such." And here we have the first offering is the Brass Hybrid Challenger. I was really excited when I first saw the leaked catalog cover a couple of weeks ago in an email that Lionel had sent out, and it's funny because I had emailed Lionel probably about 4 or 5 years ago about the possibility of doing these sometime in the future, and I'm really glad to see they're actually making these. But the only thing that is at the moment kind of preventing me from pre-ordering one of these is the price. $2,500. That's pretty steep. If I'm not mistaken, this is probably the most expensive steam locomotive that Lionel has ever made. I know the Acela sets that Lionel recently did were pretty expensive in price, but I just can't think of another locomotive or set that Lionel has done that's been more expensive than this. And the thing is, since it's a brass hybrid, if I'm not mistaken, Lionel has a deal with dealerships that for brass hybrid locomotives, dealers won't take off or give discounts on these. So pretty much every place that I've seen that has these available for pre-order are around $2,500. And I do understand that these being brass locomotives, brass hybrids, that there is a lot more work that goes into making these. But I have no doubt that the detail on these are going to be really great. These do look like some really nice engines. On the first page here, we have the pilot version, which looks pretty awesome, seeing all the different brass detailing and how much brass actually is on these locomotives. And then below that you have the Greyhound version, and then several different black versions as well. And then some more black units on the next page, as well as down below on the bottom, a Fantasy 49er scheme, or a Challenger scheme as is listed here. I know on the last run of Vision Line Challengers Lionel did, these were actually pretty good sellers, so I have no doubt that's probably going to be a good seller as well. If I had to choose between which one I would pre-order, if I do, I don't know if I will or not. If I do end up going for one of these, I'm probably going to have to sell a thing or two for my collection in order to justify that price tag. But if I did have to choose one, I'd probably go for either the Greyhound version or even the unpainted pilot version. I think that version looks pretty cool. But I have no doubt these are going to be awesome engines once they come out. They're probably going to have the same sound units in them as the Vision Line Challengers and the big boys have, which were recent releases. And plus all the different whistles and bells and stuff like that that'll go along with these. So I have no doubt these are going to be pretty awesome engines. Still on the fence about pre-ordering one though, but I'm looking forward to seeing these come out and seeing some prototypes of these eventually. Alright, and flipping the page again, we have some former MTH Premier tooling this time, making its way into the Lionel catalog for the first time. And those are some Penske L1 Mikados. There are a bunch of different schemes here, 3 different Penske, a Santa Fe, a Detroit, Ironton, or Toledo and Ironton, and then the Lehigh, New England down below. And let me tell you something, for $949, that's actually a pretty good deal for these. I was expecting, when I first saw these, I did not expect to see a 900 number, but I have seen some stores that have these for pre-order now. They're in like the 850 range, so these are actually a pretty good price for a locomotive this size, especially with all the legacy features in them. They do have whistle steam, stack steam, and it's going to be pretty cool seeing these engines with legacy sounds. I can't even remember the last time MTH actually made these with proto sounds in them, but I am going to be pre-ordering one of these, but it's not actually a version on this page right here, but I'll talk a little bit more about it when we get to the page with the version I'm going to be getting. But very cool engines right here, and looking forward to possibly getting one of these as well. And on the next page, yet again, we do have some more former MTH Premier tooling, and this time they are some Chesapeake and Ohio Greenbriers. I know a lot of people on the OGR forum and the some Facebook groups are very excited about these. I have no doubt the 614 is going to be a very good seller. But a bunch of different schemes available for these. You have 2 Chesapeake and Ohio versions, the 614 and the 611 on the left-hand side. Not to be mistaken for the Norfolk and Western 611. This is a different 611. And then on the right side, you have the chassis system railroads, and then you have the family lines underneath that. And then there's also another Chesapeake and Ohio version on the next page, which is the 613, and this version is pretty interesting because it has L finiers on the front of the locomotive. Up in the right-hand corner, you also have a Chesapeake and Ohio caboose, which is former MTH Premier tooling as well. And down below on the bottom of the page are some pretty cool-looking Chesapeake and Ohio heavyweight coaches to go along with either this one or the other versions on the page before. And then on the next page, you have the final offering of these locomotives in the catalog. And it's a fantasy scheme that a friend of mine named Vinny on Facebook has actually referred to as the Creamsicle. And that is a version for the Chessie, which was a passenger train that the Chesapeake and Ohio ran in real life. And the scheme kind of pays homage to the scheme that the Chesapeake and Ohio Pacifics actually wore. And all together with this locomotive and then the all the passenger cars on the bottom, the different sets, if I had to pre-order any of these, this is probably what I would go for, because this would make a pretty awesome passenger set to run on the layout. Now, all of these locomotives actually do have a price tag of about $1,700, but if you go through a good Lionel dealer, I've seen some places have these for around $1,500. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and pre-order this, but it's definitely on my list of possibilities. So I don't know, we'll see, but it's definitely something pretty cool to make its way into the catalog for sure. Next up, we have some 260 Moguls, which Lionel hasn't done in a very long time actually. And this time around, Lionel has completely redesigned the gearboxes for these, so they won't have the issues that the last run did. I believe the last run of these was actually TMCC versions, so it's been quite a while since these have been done. But several different versions you have. You have the St. Louis and Rio Grande, the Middletown and Humelston, the Southern Pacific, and then up on the top right you have the Canadian National with a bunch of different passenger cars to go along with that. And now here we go with one of my first definite pre-orders. We have some versions finally of Legacy Strasbourg 89s. And I'm going to be going for the 2000s version, which is there on the left. They also have a 1970s version up on the right there. And down below they do have some passenger cars to go along with the 1970s version. But, for $800, that's not a bad price for these locomotives. I do wish they could have put whistle steam in these, though, because if you look in the catalog, these don't have whistle steam, unfortunately. I guess in a way I can kind of understand, because these are small locomotives. They probably had difficulty putting whistle steam in these. But nonetheless, I'm glad to finally see some legacy versions of the 89 making their way into the catalog, and definitely looking forward to getting mine. One thing I will point out that Lionel has mentioned, the catalog art for these is actually not totally correct. Lionel is going to be making this a little bit more accurate for the way the 89 currently looks as it's running on the Strasbourg Railroad, because if you compare this to the Canadian National version on the previous page, this 89 is missing the steps going from the walkways down to the cow catcher. And also this version of the 90 that's shown here, or the 89, excuse me, has incorrect cylinders on the front of the locomotive. So Lionel will be changing these and getting a little bit more accurate to the way it currently looks. But really good to finally be seeing these. And then we have some more Strasbourg stuff on the next page, mostly some heavyweight passenger cars, as well as a Strasbourg caboose, which is up in the right-hand corner. The caboose I'm definitely pre-ordering. I've wanted to get one of those for a while. I missed out when MTH made these. I don't know if I'm going to be getting any of these passenger cars. If I did have to choose one, I would probably go with the Pullman version on the bottom left. But $250 for one passenger car, that's, just basically a normal passenger car. It doesn't have sounds or anything in it. That's kind of a little steep. I'm on the fence about it. I'm considering it, but don't know if I actually will. But the caboose is a definite pre-order for me on this page. Alright, and here we go with the diesel category of the catalog, and the first offerings are some SD40T-2 tunnel motor locomotives. Lots of different road names here, 3 Southern Pacific versions, a Santa Fe, Susquehanna, and Western Pacific. For $650, that's not too bad. I'm not really going to be going for any of these, but the Southern Pacific Black Widow scheme looks pretty cool. Next up, we have some Legacy FA2 sets, along with some separately sold B units. For $1,100, that's not terrible for an AA set. One of the A units is the unit that has sound. Both of them are powered, but only one of them has the sound in it. But then you can add the B units to it, one of them being a super bass unit, which is always nice to add, for $549 for the powered B unit, and then the super bass being $500. But a lot of really nice schemes here. You have a Halloween scheme, which has all the spooky sounds in it, which is from what I understand, getting pretty popular among people. And it's always fun to have unique sound units for holidays and stuff like that, and scale legacy engines. After that, you have an L&N, Erie, Delaware and Hudson, New York Central, Pennsylvania, and then Southern Pacific. So definitely lots of options to choose from here. I'm probably not going to be pre-ordering any of these, but if I were, I'd probably either go for the Pennsy or the New York Central units. Next up, we have some pretty cool military-themed things. We have some United States Marine Corps FA2s up on the left, the AA set, as well as the 2B units, a U.S. Marine Corps boxcar, as well as a Northeastern-style caboose. And down below, we have some United States Army passenger sets. Next up, we have the return of the Uni Pacific Heritage SD70 ACEs. All of these units are scale legacy locomotives, of course, and it's been a while since Lionel has done these, so it's good to see these make a comeback. I know a lot of people are excited for the KD unit up on the top right there. And on the next page, we have the continuation of the Heritage units, along with some Montana Rail Link and a leaser unit with a CNO patch on it. So for $650, that's actually a pretty good deal for these locomotives, especially one that can operate on 036 curves. On the next page, we have something that is actually all brand new tooling, and that is some Fairbanks Morris H1544s. Lionel has done some H1644s in the past, but they do have some body differences between the H15 and H16 44 units. But lots of different road names here. You have the Rock Island, Central of Georgia, Rio Grande, Kansas City Southern, Monon, and Uni Pacific. And for $600 per unit, it's actually a very good deal for a legacy unit, especially with a smoke unit in it with the exhaust. But out of all of these, I've been considering possibly pre-ordering the Rio Grande or the Rock Island unit. Now here we have two really nice sets that Lionel is offering in this catalog. The top one is a Western Maryland Hagerstown Hotshot set, and that has 2 FA units, with legacy of course. One FA unit is in a Western Maryland Circus scheme, and then the second one is in a black and gold scheme. The set also has a boxcar, a flat car with a trailer, a hopper car, and then a Northeastern style caboose. And then down below is a Pennsylvania Road set for $1,500, and that is known as the Cumberland Valley Way Freight set. And that has a L1 Mikado, a boxcar with sounds, a reefer, a flat car with a working caboose, a working trolley, and then also a Pennsylvania caboose. And the big reason why I'm going for the Cumberland set here with the L1 is because the locomotive in the set is number 520. For those of you guys know, the 520 is actually across the street from the Strasbourg Railroad at the Road Museum of Pennsylvania. So overall, it's a really good value for a set. You get a nice legacy locomotive, the flat car with the working trolley, as well as the Freight Sounds boxcar. So it was actually a tough choice between this set because I actually really like both of them, but I just ended up figuring I'll probably just go with one. So I figured the Pensy set is the best bet, but both sets I have no doubt are going to sell really well. Now the next few pages in the catalog are actually all scale freight cars, so I'm not going to spend too much time on these. But on the first page here, you have some Uni Pacific flat cars with trailers that go along with the Uni Pacific Heritage SD70 ACEs. So here you could either get all 6 cars and have a nice trailer train behind one of them, or you can just get the flat car with the trailer that matches your locomotive. But lots of different options here for $150 per car. If you go through a good Lionel dealer, you'll get them for probably around $100. And then on the next page we have some 60-foot box cars, Reading and Northern, a couple of different graffiti cars, a John Deere, a Chevy, and a Ford on the next page. Then turning the page again, we have some 100-foot hopper cars. You have some Burlington Northern, Chesapeake, Denver and Rio Grande, Norfolk Southern, Reading, and Southern Pacific. Each road name has 3 different 2-packs available. Each 2-pack is $300 each. I'm guessing some of those chassis system hoppers would look pretty good behind the chassis system railroad's 614. And then on the opposite page, you have some Hobo Sounds box cars, which I'm really looking forward to hearing what those sound like for $210 a car. And then finally, we have some former MTH Premier tooling again for the Pensy cabooses. There are 3 different schemes available for those. And then on the right-hand side, we have some Northeastern style cabooses, which Lionel has done plenty of times in the past, but 3 new road names are appearing in this catalog: the Lehigh, New England, Maine Central, and the Rock Island. Alright guys, so that's all I'm going to go through for this video. At this point, my voice is starting to kill me a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. But I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please hit that like button, share it, and if you're not already a subscriber, if you could hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. And while you're at it, go ahead and comment down below how you guys, what you thought of this catalog and the things that you guys are going to be pre-ordering. I'd love to read it. So with that being said, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching, and this is Jay from Jay's Trains signing out. I will see you guys next time.